Today we shall revise the chapter A Day in a Zoo. This chapter is an extract taken from Menagerie Manor. Gerald Durrell's narrative account gives us an idea about the experiences of zookeepers and the animals of the zoo. It provides us with an interesting insider's view of the zoo. Here are following questions. LAQ. The first question is, what advantage does an owner of a zoo have over an ordinary man who comes to visit it? What are the cares that come with his position? That's the first question. The second, which part of the zoo is always full of activity? Which animals here are compared to high-spirited children out of school, and why? The third one is, who is in charge of these animals? How do they go about their job? And the fourth one, when does the zoo open for the visitors? Why are the zookeepers alert when the crowd starts filtering in? The answer to these questions will be discussed now. LAQ, I think you know what LAQ means long answer questions. You have to answer these within 25 words. The first answer, that is, what advantage does an owner of a zoo have over an ordinary man who comes to visit it? The owner of a zoo lives within the premises and therefore he is able to rush out at any hour of the day or night to observe the animals. That means when he is living in a zoo, that he can therefore rush out at any point and have a look at the animals. That is the first answer, the first part of the answer. And the second portion is, what are the cares that come with his position? That means, what are the responsibilities that come with his position? That is, you can say like this, he can be with his animals at all times. This also means that he is on duty 24 hours a day. It means he can come out of his house and have a look at the animals, but it also means that he has complete responsibility of those animals and their well-being is his responsibility. The second question is, which part of the zoo is always full of activity? And the second part is, which animals here are compared to high-spirited children out of school, and why? The two-storied granite house which harbors the monkeys and other mammals is always full of activity. The gorillas, which are let out of their cages, gallop about on the floor like high-spirited children out of school. You can form the answer this way. The third question was, who is in charge of these animals? That means, who takes care of these animals? These means the gorillas and those mammals living there. And how do they go about their job? Now, the third answer, you can frame it this way. Stephen, Mike and Jeremy are in charge of these animals. Stephen, broom in hand, stands guard over the apes, while Mike and Jeremy sweep up the mess on the floor and scatter sawdust. I have just a way I have shown you how to frame. You can frame it in your own words. That doesn't matter. But the matter should be this. These are the points that you should have in your answer. And the text, read the text properly so that you can answer the questions in whatever way it is given to you. And the fourth question was, when does the zoo open for the visitors? Why are the zookeepers alert when the crowd starts filtering in? At 10 o'clock, the zoo gate opens for the visitors. The zookeepers remain alert when the people begin entering. They keep their eyes open for people who tend to hurt the animals by throwing stones at them. These are the points. Remember, just listen to the points carefully. Or prodding them with sticks. Some people even go to the extent of giving chimpanzees cigarettes or razor blades, which, if not noticed, might definitely prove hazardous. So, these are the various points. The first point I mentioned was that what they do is they throw stones at them. That's point one. They prod them with sticks, and it has been noticed that some people even give these chimpanzees razor blades and cigarettes. So these are the points. That is, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 points here, and you should have this in your answer. And the words, you can construct it in your own words, but it has to be grammatically correct. That's what that I want to say here. Next, we move on to the SAQ. Now, the short answer questions, that is, you have to answer these questions within 15 words. That's, we have done this in class before, and you've answered exams. This won't be a problem. Don't make too lengthy. Don't make these answers too lengthy. Okay. The first question is, when does an average zoo day begin? What is the first sound that one is likely to hear? First, I'm giving you the questions, then I'm going to discuss the answers. The second question is, when do the zoo staff arrive? How does their day begin? The third one, why does one often find the reptiles dozing off? The fourth one, where do the turacos live? How does the one collected from Africa interact? Okay. Now I'm going to discuss the answers. Just listen carefully. The first one was, when does an average zoo day begin? And what is the first sound that one is likely to hear? Now, an average zoo day begins just before dawn. That's the point. Just before dawn. Okay. And the second question is, what is the first sound that one is likely to hear? So you can see one is likely to be awakened by the singing of a bird. Okay. The second question, when do the zoo staff arrive? The zoo staff arrive at 8 o'clock. And how do they begin their day? That is, after the zoo staff arrive at 8 o'clock, and after greeting each other, they set about with their buckets and brushes to clean the zoo. The third question, why does one often find the reptiles dozing off? The cold-blooded reptiles are often seen dozing off in the... why have I mentioned cold-blooded? Because they like the warm temperature. So I've mentioned the cold-blooded. Okay, the cold-blooded reptiles are often seen dozing off in the pleasant temperature of 80 degrees in the reptile house. The fourth question, where do the turacos live? The turacos live in a big cage at the end of the house. How does the one collected from Africa interact? The turacos live in a big cage at the end of the house. The male, PT. Okay, since it's the name of the male turaco is PT, so you should put a comma. The male, PT, rare in Africa. So remember to put the punctuation marks in the proper places. Okay, rare in Africa throws its head back and caroos when it interacts with someone. Okay, I hope you've understood the LAQ and the SAQ. The answers I have discussed here. Try to do it by yourselves at home and practice. And the most important thing is you should read your text properly. That's the thing, I keep on harping on that point. Read your text properly. Moving on to the MCQ section. Now, the first question is, now I'm not going to give the answers here. I'm not going to discuss anything here. You're going to do it by yourself, which I suppose you will be able to if you have read the text. The first question is, looking out into the courtyard, one can see a male peahen, A, searching the dewy grass, B, strutting about, C, dancing, his burnished tail raised like a fountain in the sunlight. The second is Etam, the black Celebes ape, A, tries to wrench the electric heaters, B, bares his teeth as a way of greeting, C, sits idly ignoring everyone around. Third, dash, lie draped over the rocks, A, lizards, B, snakes, C, frogs. And the fourth one, as the light fades, the dash ceases to sing and flies off to roost in the mimosa tree, A, eagle, B, peahen, C, robin. These are very easy. There's no point discussing it, but if you have read your text well, you'll be able to do it. Just read it properly. They seem to be very easy, but you might miss out on a certain points if you don't read your text properly. Okay. Now in grammar today, we're going to practice, we're going to do articles. This is not something new to you. Okay. We have been doing it in class from the very junior sections. Okay. Now what is an article? Articles are words that define a noun as specific or unspecific. Now, there are three articles, a and the. A and an are indefinite articles used before singular nouns. The is a definite article used before singular as well as plural cases. A is used before vowel or vowel sounds. An is used before consonant and consonant sounds. I have given a few examples so that you can understand. The first one is a man. The sentence is also provided here. There isn't a man in the world who doesn't pity that poor black sufferer. So M is a consonant, so we use A before it. A man. Okay. Now, the next case is a bit different. A European. Now you will say, why have we put an A here? Because E is a vowel. Now, E might be a vowel, but it has a consonant sound. European, that is U, Y-U sound. Therefore, we put an A instead of an. Okay. Example now is a university. Similarly, like a European, we have a university where U being a vowel takes an A since it has a consonant sound. I've provided an example. When I was a university student, my assessable income was very low. Next is an apple. A is a vowel, so it naturally takes an before it. An apple a day keeps a doctor away. This is a very famous proverb. Next one is an island, and the next one is an MP. This again is different. Why? Because M is a consonant, but it takes an, because here this consonant M takes a vowel sound, EM, vowel sound. And MP is a person who has been elected to represent the people. Now, till now we have done where to put A and an. Now we'll just talk about its uses, the uses of A and an, the correct uses, how to use it. Now, A and an, it's used before singular nouns which is countable. For example, I need a pen. See, pen here is a singular noun, so it takes an A before it. I need a pen. We don't say a pen, we say a pen. I need a pen. The next use is, it's used before singular countable nouns which are used as an example of a class of things. Example, a child needs love. Here, when I say a child, I don't mean a single child. I'm referring to all children. I mean, children need love. So instead of saying children need love, I say a child, which means I'm talking about that class. That means all the children, the class. The class means not the classroom class, it means a class of, the class which refers to children. All children, they need love. So a child needs love. The next one is used before expressions of quantity, a certain number, or expressions of price. For example, a lot of. Now, a lot of, before we have a. Tinned food usually has a lot of syrup with it. Tinned food usually has a lot of syrup with it. So there's an a before lot of. It refers to a particular quantity, a lot of syrup. Then a couple. She pulled a couple of bowls out of the refrigerator. Then we have a dozen, an hour, 4 times a day. These are the particular expressions of quantity, certain numbers, or expressions of price. Now the next one is, it's used in exclamations before singular countable nouns, like such a long queue. This is an exclamatory sentence. Again, used in exclamations before singular countable nouns. Now, the next use, it's used before Mr., Mrs., Miss, or a proper noun when we have a vague idea about the identity of the person, where we don't know who that person is. Now, example, a Mr. Patel. Why a Mr. Patel? Means we're talking about a man, that Patel is a certain person who is a stranger to me. I don't know him. So, a Mr. Patel. A Mr. Patel came to meet you. A Mr. Patel rang you up. So I don't know whom I'm talking about. I don't know that person. So that person is a stranger to me. For example, a Ravi Nayak came to meet you. The next use is, it's used to represent a single unit. For example, a laundry. The hotel provides a laundry and restaurant facility, a cleaning and washing service. Now, with this we complete the uses of a and an. Now we are going to talk about the and its uses. The, which is the definite article. Where are we supposed to use it? The first use is, it's used before the object or group of objects which are unique or considered to be unique. That is the earth, the equator, the earth. We only know of one earth, isn't it? Now, the sentence with earth, the earth moves around the sun. Now, why am I saying the earth, not the earth? Because again, I'm talking about I'll refer to E. E is a vowel, and therefore it has a vowel sound. Therefore, the earth, not the earth. The earth moves around the sun. Now, it is used to talk about people and things that have already been mentioned. For example, she has 2 children, a girl and a boy. The boy is 14, the girl is 8. Now, when we talking about that children, she has 2 children, a boy and a girl. So I'm just mentioning the boy I'm just mentioning the girl and the boy, okay? But when I'm talking about that boy and that particular girl in the next sentence, that particular boy and that particular girl in the next sentence, I'm just using the here. The boy is 14 and the girl is 18. That means the boy and the girl who has been mentioned in the previous sentence. So I'm using the definite article here. The boy and the girl in the next sentence. Now, it is used before nouns made definite by addition of a phrase or a clause. The girl in blue, the place where I met her. Now, girl in blue is a phrase, while where I met her is a clause. That is one use. Now we go to the next use, which is, it is used before superlatives that we know very well. The first, the best, the second. When we did comparison of adjectives, we have used that several times. I hope you remember that. Now, he secured the second place in the race. Now, look at this carefully. The plus singular noun can represent a class of animals or things. Example, the plus tiger is in danger of becoming extinct. The tiger, we don't say the plus tiger, we just say the tiger, just to make things clear, because tiger is a noun, okay? The plus tiger is in danger of becoming extinct. Here, as I said, the singular noun, the plus singular noun can represent a class of animals or things. Now, when I'm talking about the tiger, I'm not referring here to a single tiger. Like when I was talking about the previous example, when I was talking about the child, I was not talking about any one particular child. Similarly, when I'm talking about the tiger here, I'm not referring to a single tiger. Okay, I'm referring to that particular, the class of tiger. It means all tigers. Now, next, the plus adjective. That was the plus noun. Now, this is the plus adjective represents a class of persons. For example, the old, the rich. Again, see, I'm using the old and the rich. I hope you know the difference. I explained it to you a few minutes ago. Now, O is a vowel, so the old, and R is a consonant, so the rich. You often make a you do not often differentiate between the two, but you must do that. Okay. Now, coming back to this point, when we're talking about the old and the rich. Now, here, the old means old people in general. Now I've given example of a sentence here. Now, the rich have the luxury to squander. The rich, that means the rich people have the luxury to squander. Okay, not one single rich person. The rich means referring to all the rich people. Now, the next one is, it is not generally used before proper nouns. It is used before certain proper names of seas, rivers, group of islands, chains of mountains, etc. For example, the Atlantic. Now, the Atlantic Ocean is the second largest of the world's oceans. Okay, the Atlantic Ocean is the second largest of the world's oceans. The next example is the Godavari. I hope you know that's a river. Okay, and Atlantic is an ocean. Okay, now the next one will be, I've given you, the uses are over. I hope I've been able to just go through the entire chapter properly and that you have understood. Not that you do not know anything about it, but just a quick recapitulation of the chapter. Now I've given you an exercise here. I hope you will be able to do it. Just the exercise, I'm just reading out the questions. The first one is, the instruction is, insert articles wherever necessary. It means where it is not needed, just do not insert anything where it is not needed. Just because a blank space is given, that does not mean that it has to be filled in. If it's not necessary, please not insert anything. The first question is, please set dash clock, comma, it is dash hour too fast. The second one is, she found dash 1 rupee note in dash book she was reading. Third, the 3-star hotel had dash garage and dash car parking facility. The fourth one is, dash old man who is my neighbor is as wise as dash owl. And the fifth one is, I am on dash night duty, full stop, when you go to dash bed, comma, I go to dash work, full stop. Now I haven't given you a lot because you have your books. You can practice from the text that the school has provided you. That is basic English, I suppose, and Duff and That. There are a lot of exercises given there. Try doing them. The more you practice, the better you will be at it, and grammar needs a lot of practice. I hope I have been able to convey the chapter and the question answers properly. Just practice and study hard at home. Have fun, but study hard.